How you doing, everybody? It's Ian from the Real Outdoor Experience. I wanted to take a minute today and just talk about a birthday present that I got about a month and a half ago. I finally got a Yeti Cooler. I've got a Yeti travel cup, and after 2 hours, this coffee's still too hot to drink. I always wanted to try a cooler, and I finally got one. I had it for about a month and a half, and I've already put it through its paces. Now, right after I got it, I wound up going on a camping trip up into Northern Ontario, and a bear came into the campsite. There were two coolers, and bear went straight for the cooler. Went right past a box that had an open bag of chips in it. There was a bag of cookies in there. Bears they're smart, and they've come to learn that that coolers have good stuff inside. So bear goes straight for the Yeti cooler, and I woke up in the night and, hearing this crashing and banging and noise outside. And when I got out there, the Yeti cooler had been pushed, I don't know, 7 or 8 feet, rolled upside down. So the cooler was upside down. One of the cool things about it, with this clasping mechanism, the cooler wouldn't open. And because it couldn't get a purchase on the cooler itself, there was no damage to it. He couldn't really do anything with it. So we abandoned that and went to my Coleman Cooler. Now, this Coleman Cooler, I'm sure everybody has one of these, but it did not fare nearly so well. It's kind of difficult to see, but there's a puncture mark right there, and a corresponding mark at the top, a puncture, where the bear grabbed it with his teeth and was able to drag it away. Now there is another puncture here. This cooler is wrecked, thanks Mr. Bear. But you know what, in all fairness, this cooler doesn't owe me anything. I've had it for years. They're great coolers, I'm sure everybody's got one, but it was upside down and open in the woods, and everything was saved because I managed to get outside in that point in time. But this cooler is wrecked. The Yeti cooler, absolutely none the worse for wear, and like I said, it didn't open and it didn't spill anything out, which I thought was really neat. The real test started last week, so I came down. I'm at my property in New York. Today is Friday, October 25th. And I came up last Friday. I was going to be hunting on the Saturday. It's bow season down here, and needed a cooler in the event that I did shoot and was able to harvest. I was going to need a cooler to bring meat back. So I stopped at a Wegmans on the way into the property, got a bag of ice, popped it in the cooler, got into the cabin, and I don't know, I'd made a couple of drinks about it that Friday night, but that was the only time I touched the bag of ice. And I spent the whole day on stand on Saturday, and although I saw a pile of deer, I didn't shoot. I did decide to pack up and head back to Ontario. The cooler I did not open. I thought, hey, you know what, this is going to be kind of a neat test, because I knew that I was going to be coming back today. But what really surprised me was that the bag of ice that I had bought is not, well, it's obviously it's not entirely intact, but there is still a good amount of ice in that bag, and that was from a cooler exactly 1 week. And you know what, again, all fairness to my Coleman Cooler, which I've loved, it would not have held ice for that length of time. A couple of neat features that I've noticed about it. It's got feet on it that are no slip, and it's kind of neat when it's in the back of the truck, because it doesn't slide around. So I've got a Line-X coating in the bottom of my truck bed, and one of the things that is kind of funny, we used to just put the cooler in the back and kind of, riding it forward, and because of the feet on it, it doesn't do that. It doesn't slip at all, but it also doesn't move around. There is a plug to drain it. Now, when I went to drain the cooler, plug came out and whoop, over the deck. Now, just going over the deck is not that big of a deal here, but if I was draining water into a lake or off the side of a boat or something like that, I would have lost my plug. I'd have been a little disappointed. There are lock holes, which I think is kind of neat as well. You can lock your cooler if you're traveling if you want. And the handles are very, very robust, and they do have that, they're high enough that it can get your hand over top of the lid, which again, with a lot of coolers, particularly if you're wearing gloves, you just don't have enough room when you've got just a square plastic handled cooler. Now, the one thing that I do notice, I'm not a big guy, I'm like 5'9", 5'10". When it is full of stuff, it's heavy. It's a heavy cooler. Even on its own, it's pretty heavy, so it's not going to be something that I'm going to be, taking on a portage style canoe trip with. But for traveling around in the back of a truck and coming to a cabin for a weekend, this cooler has been absolute dynamite. This is the Tundra 65. It's a good size cooler, and certainly great to get you through any number of days with any type of frozen product that you want, or anything you want to keep cool. You know what, Yeti, you made me a believer. I just can't believe that bag of ice lasted an entire week. an entire week. Yeah, it's just fantastic. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you get a kick out of that. It's Ian from the Real Outdoor Experience, and as always, keep it real.